What is up, guys? So something about me that you may not know is that before I actually ever use a deck, I like to get to know the deck. I like the deck to get to know me, and I like to sleep with my deck. So it's no secret to anyone that I love oracle cards and tarot cards. That's always been my chosen form of divination. And so that was the inspiration for this video. What would be my tarot tips taught to me that I would like to share with you guys? Things that I learned because that's how people taught me, and things I've picked up just from doing it all these years. And so I thought I'd give you guys some tips if you wanted to pick up a tarot deck or an oracle deck and use that for divination, because that's my preferred choice of divination personally. I know Aphrodite Child, she loves the pendulum, and there are other people that like other forms of divination, but the tarot and the oracle cards are the ones that spoke to me and have always worked for me. And you can go look online to find cards that maybe speak to you, and we'll talk about that. So first off, I want to say that when I started in my path of paganism back in 2009, which makes me kind of old school compared to some people nowadays, I guess, being almost 14, 15 years doing this now. A myth that was very much alive when I started looking into tarot cards and oracle cards, and it didn't help because it was also said in books I would read as well. It's that tarot cards and oracle cards have to be gifted to you. So I want to tell you right now that I have never had someone give me a tarot deck or oracle deck or cards. All the ones I've ever used have been bought. So that's an old tradition. Some of you watching this probably remember or have heard before. And I want to let you guys know that are new that you may have heard that and they were waiting for that gifted deck, that doesn't have to be. That is a myth. You can buy your own and it works just fine. So with that said, how do you pick a deck? So I would research decks that appeal to me. So I would think about it like this. The way I thought about it actually is I wanted something easy, and they actually make easy starter tarot decks, and they are still on Amazon, I want to say. And I am going to insert a picture right now of the deck I had. If I can find it, you'll see it right now if I'm able to find it. So I would suggest that to you. We're back. So if you saw that, that means I was able to find it on Amazon, and it's just that easy. That deck you just saw was the one I started with. I just looked up starter tarot decks, and what makes it easy is because they walk you through it, and it helped me. It comes with its own mat and book, like most of them do. Most of them don't come with their own tarot mat, but this one did, at least when I bought it those years ago. So that's the deck I started with, and that really worked for me. But they have other ones out there. They have an infamous Olympus tarot that was infamous for being more advanced and difficult. You're like, how can a tarot deck be more advanced and difficult? I don't know, but that one was. It lived up to its infamy. I'm back again. I'm going to make that the theme of this video, I guess, is I'm going to talk about something, it'll lead into a picture, and I'll be like, welcome back, y'all. So, yeah, I wanted to show you that, because now I don't have it anymore. I wish I did, because at Olympus Tarot, I was not into Hellenic polytheism or the Greek gods at all then. So it was either lost in time or thrown away, or who knows. Maybe the trolls and elves stole it, I don't know. But it's no longer in my possession. And I do this because it is worth and costs a lot of money now if you go online and try to buy it now. So I won't complain if someone wants to gift that one to me. So yeah, so with all that said, they do have starter decks out there, and they do have easy decks, and you don't have to be gifted it. You can go out and buy one, and it works just as well. So with that said, I'm going to now begin telling you the way I was taught tarot, which also transitions into oracle cards, because I use it the same way. And we can talk about that a little later, what the difference is. So the first thing I want to say as I stroke my beard is that the person that was originally around me in 2009 that used tarot cards, it could be, I'm thinking now and I'm reminiscing, it could be the person that introduced me to the idea of tarot and made me interested. I want to say that she had tarot cards, but I remember being super nervous about just the idea of it, because I was just brand new pagan at the time. And I remember her telling me that to not be afraid of tarot cards, that it's not going to work if you're scared or nervous or you have a misunderstanding of the cards. And to that, I agree. I agree that you have to have confidence in the cards. You can't be afraid of it, because there's nothing to be afraid of. But being newly pagan, being a baby pagan, as I like to say, you know, you have those fears of, is what I'm doing evil, demonic? You know, you got those scares and fears. But when you actually start doing it and trying it, you see it's just not scary at all, and you have to lose the fear. So I would say my number one tip is, if you're afraid for whatever reason, if you're nervous, maybe you are new to this whole thing and it's a little scary, I would suggest just maybe get a deck, play around with it, and learn how comfortable it is to not be afraid of it, because it's not going to jump out and bite you. As you can see from me, I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm not like frothing at the mouth, ready to snap every neck I see. It hasn't made me evil or demented. So it is safe and an easy thing to do. So if you're ever nervous about it, like I said, get you a deck that you're comfortable with. So that goes back to the point number one. And then play with it, and then you'll feel it. So this kind of connects as well. My next point I want to mention is you have to trust that whatever you pull, trust your intuition, that the card that you're pulling is the correct card. If you got, again, it goes back to that confidence. You have to get used to the feel of the cards and know when you are ready to pull. And there are different methods to pulling out your tarot or oracle cards. Some people shuffle until the cards fall out, and some people, such as myself, that has been doing this a while, you feel a pull, and you have to trust yourself that that pull that you feel is the card you're supposed to actually literally pull out. So you always see me in these videos, if you watch my tarot readings or oracle card readings, you see me looking off in the distance, possibly as I'm shuffling. I'm trying not to look at the cards, so whatever I pull is not influenced by what I see, so I'll be looking like this, looking away. So it's not something in the distance I'm looking at. I'm intentionally not looking at the cards. Also, it's a feeling that you have. The more you do this, you get a feeling that it's almost, I describe it as the cards are metal and my hands are magnets, are the best way I can say, because you almost want to hover over the cards and you can feel almost like a magnetic pull that's saying, yes, this is the one to pull out. That's been my method. Again, that takes practice in knowing what the feeling of that magnetism feeling is. But that's been my best practice of pulling oracle cards and tarot cards. Again, if you're not there yet, if you need more practice, or if you're not comfortable doing it that way, is the easiest thing to do is to shuffle till a card falls out. Because they always say, for those that don't know, that cards that fall out are the cards that are meant to be read. So that's another way to do it. That's easier than having to feel for it. All right, so we're going to go back to the intro to the video, how I like to sleep on my cards. So what does that mean? So that's a tradition of tarot cards. That is a tradition I've heard that was taught to me. So that's my old coven leader told me how she bonded with her deck was to literally sleep with her tarot cards under her pillow. She would put it under the pillow and sleep on top of it. And she would tell me to do that for 2 weeks. That way you get really bonded with your tarot deck or oracle deck. And so I did that my first time, and I slept with it inside my pillowcase. I just tucked it in there and slept on it for 2 weeks. So the new Mythos Tarot that I got, even to today, that's a tradition that I still do. And what she told me, which I found to be true, especially with this last Mythos Tarot deck, is that if you sleep with your pillow on top of the tarot deck or oracle deck and your head on it, at night it can give you dreams, visions, or something different, because it's your soul, your brain, whatever, bonding to that deck. And I can say that yes, that is true. Especially, like I said, in my experience, like for this Mythos Tarot that I've been using just recently, when I had that under my pillow, it was like you'd have like normal dreams, but it would flash gold, and I would get like an image of something, and it would go away, and I'd have a dream, and I'd see a flash of gold, and again, and then another image, and so forth. Things I don't see in my regular dreaming life. I don't just see bright flashes of light. And if you don't see that, if you have a tarot deck and you put it on your pillow and you don't have dreams about anything, if it's just another night's sleep that's super uncomfortable because you don't know how to sleep with a card under your pillow without feeling like you're going to bend it, or if it's a big box and you're like, what sleep? Then don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm just saying it could happen, and it's a possibility. And it's interesting when it does. And I think that it is part of the bonding experience that maybe I got a feeling that not everyone is going to experience, but that doesn't mean that you're not bonding to it as much as someone that's like seeing the Fool and the Tower dissolve in front of you, and the High Priestess giving you a blessing with the High Priest. Tarot card references if you don't know. So if lightning doesn't flash, that's okay. That's okay. But I'm just saying it's interesting when things like that do happen, though. So another thing I want to say is that you need to accept the reading. So the readings may not be always nice and friendly or gentle even. They can be pretty alarming or wake you up like, whoa, this card's calling me out. So that's real. So I would say to you, before you ask a question, be ready for the answer, because it's not going to give you always the answer you want to hear. So when it's not something you don't want to hear, then don't ask the question, because I know that we do a lot of these tarot readings because we want confirmations to say, yes, yep, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. But sometimes it's telling you to wake up, stupid. Sometimes it's telling you that, hey, don't do that. Or maybe you should do this instead. And you can get that kind of reading, but you're going to have to accept it. And I've learned that if I don't want to know the real answer, I'm not going to ask the question. So be ready for the real answer if you're going to do a tarot deck. Especially the more you do this, and you feel like you're pretty confident in getting answers. If you do readings for people, and they're like, whoa. And then you do readings for yourself, and you're like, whoa. Be ready for when that day comes that you get, oh boy, kind of readings. And just be willing to accept it. And on that, don't feel like all the time that your reading is your fate. That's just the way it's going to be. Sometimes readings are ways to prevent us going down a road we don't need to go down. It's a warning sign for us. So don't feel like just because something might be a future card, for example, that it's going to be that way, because you don't know. Sometimes you can prevent it before it happens. So that's it, guys. So those are some of the tips that were given to me, and some of the ones that I've learned along the way. I didn't have to wish that someone told me that, because luckily I had tutors and teachers to tell me some things, and I learned some more things as I did it. The only other thing I haven't mentioned that you may have seen me do is pray to the gods for the reading. That's me. That's not something that everybody does. Some people just go ahead and go into the deck and do their thing. Me, I like to do a prayer for guidance to Apollo, the god of oracles. So that's just me again. If you have another god of prophecy of oracles in your spiritual path that you want to pray to, definitely go for it. And like, again, it's not a necessity. It's just something that I like to do and honor that god with my readings and what I do. So I hope you enjoyed these tips and found them useful. And I love tarot. I love oracle decks. Those are definitely my favorite kinds of divination, like I said. And so I thought I'd do this video just because lately we've been doing a lot of tarot readings and oracle readings I've done in the past. Why not do some tip ideas? Anyway, guys, I will talk to you later. Bye.